This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Welcome to News 25. Today is Friday, August 13th. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. Thanks so much for joining us here on KPVM TV and Ace Country Radio. Well, work is now underway to improve sections of two major roadways here in Nye County, and that's likely to lead to delays for motorists.
Motorists can expect some delays while traveling on portions of State Route 372 and US 95 in Nye and Esmeralda counties. VSS International Inc. is applying a chip seal to three sections of US 95 between State Route 160 and Beatty. That work is already underway. Starting today, crews are also working to chip seal State Route 372 from mile marker 6 to the California border. The Nevada Department of Transportation says chip sealing is a pavement surface treatment combining layers of asphalt and fine aggregate, explaining it's a cost-effective maintenance solution that prevents further roadway deterioration, therefore extending the highway life cycle for a smoother, safer driving experience. During construction, flaggers and pilot cars will guide vehicles through the active construction zones. Motorists can expect minor travel delays no longer than 30 minutes. For the latest state highway conditions, visit nvroads.com or call 511 before driving.
And the VA clinic here in Parrum is temporarily closed down. The Veterans Administration clinic here in Parrum on Lola Lane is temporarily closed for services. They do have a modular building in their parking lot currently for staff to still operate. According to the security guard on scene and the sign on the door, they are having air conditioning issues. They're not sure if this was a direct result of the recent storms or not. John Air Conditioning and Heating here in Parrum was on scene to see if they could fix the issues and reopen the clinic. News 25 has contacted the public information officer at the Veterans Administration for further information. As of news time, we have had no response. Well, the Clark County Fire Department reports that approximately 6:10 this morning, they received a notification of a partial building collapse at the La Bonita grocery store located on the 2500 block of Desert Inn in Las Vegas. The Clark County Fire Department responded a high-level response of 6 engines, 2 trucks, 2 rescues, and 2 battalion chiefs. A heavy rescue company and air unit were also added to that response. Upon arrival, the front mansard of the building had collapsed, running the full length of that structure. There were initial reports of people trapped inside the rubble, and crews focused their efforts on search and rescue. 4 people were ultimately transported to local hospitals with non-life-threatening injuries. Power and gas were shut off to the complex, and the county building department has been on scene all day to evaluate the structure and to determine the cause. At this time, there is no estimate on damage or the cause. 45 personnel responded to that incident. The store is currently closed, and employees were given the day off with pay and offered free physical and mental health care. News 25 will return right after this break.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest-reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on.
Well, emergency responders were called to the Parrum Nugget last night for a call for service regarding explosives.
Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies, auxiliary members, and Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue were called to the Pahrump Nugget just before 6:30 Thursday evening. Someone reported there were explosives in a third-floor room of the hotel. Authorities searched the premises and were quickly able to determine there was no explosive device or threat inside the building.
Thanks so much to Brad Francis for that report. Well, Saturday evening, the reign of Miss Pahrump 2019, Aliyah Bolton, will come to an end. 6 young ladies will take to the stage inside the Saddle West showroom, and all have hopes of becoming the Miss Pahrump. Brad Francis introduces us to this year's contestants.
First up is 17-year-old Taylor Tillery. The high school senior is involved in rodeo, basketball, Pahrump Valley Rough Riders, Junior ROTC, and National Honor Society. Her hobbies include barrel racing, sports, hunting, camping, and fishing. She aspires to train for a medical career and join the Air Force. Taylor's pageant talent is Junior ROTC Unarmed Drill Team, and her community platform is Never Let a Stumble in the Road Be the End to Your Journey. Contestant number 2 is 17-year-old Alexa Toomer. The high school senior is involved in dance team, her church youth group, the American Lutheran Church Athletic Leadership Group. Her hobbies are crafting and dancing, and she aspires to a career in elementary education. Alexa's pageant talent is a lyrical dance to False Confidence by Noah Kahn, and her community platform is Level Up with Literacy. Next, we have 14-year-old Maddie Barukowitz. The 9th grader's activities include dancing for Dance Studio and the Pahrump Valley High School Dance Team, National Junior Honor Society, and Pahrump Disability Outreach Program. Her hobbies include reading, dancing, piano, photography, and painting, and her future aspirations are still unclear. Maddie's pageant talent is a piano rendition of the song Just the Way You Are by Bruno Mars, and her community platform is Possibilities for Disabilities. Contestant number 4 is 15-year-old Sienna Brown. The 10th grader is involved in competition dance and Chi Gamma sorority. Her hobbies are shopping and swimming, and she aspires to someday own her own dance studio. Sienna's pageant talent is a lyrical dance to Remember by Lauren Daigle, and her community platform is Movement Makes the Mind Happy and Sharing My Love of Dance with Our Senior Citizens. Next up is 14-year-old Taylor Hastings. The 9th grader's activities include volleyball, basketball, dance, yearbook, journalism, and student council. Her hobbies are dance and volleyball, and she aspires to be an interior designer. Taylor's pageant talent is a musical skit, A Little Party Never Hurt Nobody by Fergie, Q-Tip, and Goonrock, and her community platform is Opportunities for People with Special Needs to be Active. And finally, contestant number 6 is 16-year-old Brenna Quinones. The 11th grader is involved in Pahrump Valley High School dance team and track and field and the Salvation Army Christmas Task Force. Her hobbies include dance, reading, photography, and crocheting, and she aspires for a career in real estate. Brenna's pageant talent is a jazz dance to The Man by Taylor Swift, and her community platform is Giving Children the Gift of Reading.
Can't wait to see the show, and of course we'll bring you all the latest on who was crowned. Last year's pageant was canceled due to the pandemic. The 2021 Miss Pahrump pageant starts at 6 p.m. Saturday inside the Saddle West showroom. The doors open at 5:30. General admission tickets are $10 and VIP tickets are $15. They can be purchased from any contestant or by contacting the pageant at misspahrump@gmail.com. Of course, there will be some tickets available out the door. An organization that got its start right here in Nevada is on a mission to empower parents. This week, Power to Parent held a statewide protest. Members rallied in 3 cities, Las Vegas, Pahrump, and Carson City, advocating for parental choice in making medical decisions for their children.
Members of the nonprofit organization Power to Parent Union says parents must be able to choose what's best for their children, including whether or not to mask, test, and vaccinate their children. Power to Parent Union members took their message to the streets in Las Vegas, Pahrump, and Carson City. Their goal, to send a message to Governor Steve Sisolak and elected officials that parents must have the right to decide what's best for their kids. Power to Parent Union says, according to data from the CDC, for the week ending July 31st, the rate of hospitalization for children ages 5 to 17 was 0.5 per 100,000, which would amount to roughly 250 patients. The organization maintains the governor's mask mandate for school students does not follow science. However, the hospitalization rate for children 5 to 17 has doubled in the last 2 weeks and continues to climb. Power to Parent Union President and CEO Aaron Phillips says, quote, "There are a variety of reasons that children should not or cannot wear a mask for 6+ hours at school or cannot receive a vaccine. Every child in this state has the right to access public education, and every parent has the right to decide what medical decisions are right for their child. Parents must be given the choice."
All right, we'll be back right after this break.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
Welcome back. If you've been suffering from migraines this summer, you're not alone. A headache specialist from Cleveland Clinic says the weather could be to blame.
A lot of weather changes, whether it's extreme heat or extreme cold, are a typical trigger for migraines. Another important thing we see is the change in barometric pressure. So if you're suddenly going from 90 degrees to 70 degrees or vice versa, this in itself can also trigger a migraine.
Dr. Ahmad Estamalik says the reason this happens is because the sudden change in pressure can disrupt the sinuses in your head. So what can be done to help prevent migraines? He says the key is to determine what is triggering them. It may not always be weather related. In some cases, it could be due to hormones, stress, or even what you're eating. When it comes to treatment, there are all kinds of options available. It really depends on the patient. The first step is going in to see a doctor if you haven't already. He says you'd be surprised how many people choose to suffer in silence.
We have a lot of data that shows us that a lot of patients actually live with migraines for many, many years before finally reaching out to a physician. And when they do, they usually say, well, it has had a huge impact on my life for many years, and I never took them seriously, or I always thought they were sinus headaches and I didn't make much out of it.
Dr. Estamalik says dehydration can also play a role in migraines, so make sure you're drinking plenty of water this summer.
Well, for today's Save a Pet, we're back inside the cat room at Desert Haven Animal Society. That's where we find a very interesting cat that I like to call Disney animatronic. Darby O'Donnell is going to introduce us to a cat named Ghost.
Hi, I'm Darby here at Desert Haven Animal Society, and today we are joined with Ghost. Ghost is an interesting kitty. First of all, he has a very interesting little face. Kind of looks like he got a facelift for some reason, not sure why, but he has beautiful green eyes. He is a senior domestic long hair. He is a grayish black all over. He is a sweetheart. We're not quite sure, but he does have some tendencies that kind of suggest that he's a little bit blind. We think that he's able to see some shadows and things like that, but he's a sweetheart. He's just so loving, and he just wants to go and live out his final days in a loving home. He gets along well with other kitties, and he's just a little ball of joy. He's purring right now, and he just likes to have a cuddle. If you want to come and see Ghost or any of his friends here at Desert Haven Animal Society, you can go and give them a call at 775-751-7020, or you can look them up on their Facebook page at Desert Haven Animal Society.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Parrum. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
All right, we're taking a look outside at some of that crazy weather happening out there. It's super windy. We're going to find out what's in store for us, including those extreme temperatures coming up Sunday and Monday after the break.
News 25 Weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios, wishing you a fabulous Friday the 13th as we look at the weather scores up and down the state. Let's look at Fernley, Fallon, Carson City. You're sitting all in the high 90s and just above 100 degrees in Fallon. Down to Tonopah, looks like 94 degrees, 96 to Goldfield, 103 out in Beatty, a hot excessive heat warning in Amargosa with 108 degree highs today. Oh Lord, 105 in Vegas. And in Death Valley, that's just a perpetual warning label right there, 118 degrees. Here in the dusky desert jewel that is Pahrump, let's take a look, 100 degrees current temperature, and just off the mark of 101 our high today. Winds kindly out of the south, 16 miles per hour. I don't know, it was that kind. Nothing blew over it. It felt pretty good, actually. Keep the dew off the dome. The humidity is not helping at 19%. Sun rose this morning at 6 a.m. and it'll set this evening about 7:35. Humidity increasing to 26%. Boy, is that going to give us some clouds and rain tomorrow. Let's take a look. Well, clouds for sure. And it looks like rain coming up later in the week, Wednesday, Thursday. Temperatures going to be quite beastly and burly this weekend. 103 tomorrow, 107 on Sunday, and then we'll be seeing a gradual decrease in the temperatures down to next Friday, 99 degrees. That won't even give us a reason to pause and complain, will it? All right, things to look forward to. Back to the desk. Here's Deanna.
All right, remember that they are predicting some extreme temperatures on Sunday and Monday, and that means high heat between 105 and 110, and of course chance of thunderstorms there on Monday. Well, many of us use our garages for parking our cars and storing bikes and tools. But one thing last year taught us how to better utilize the space we have. In today's Ask Angie segment, Bailey Carson discusses how to go about renovating your garage to give you more useful space that better fits your lifestyle.
The more livable space, the better. We're always running out of storage space and could definitely use some better organization in the space we do have. Bailey Carson, a home expert from Angie, is here to offer some advice on how to overhaul your underutilized garage space.
Updating your garage is a great investment project since it will give you more useful space and open up storage. Start by thinking about how you want to use the space. Do you want to use it for hobbies, exercising, or maybe even hosting guests? Or is it a simple storage space expansion?
Try to be realistic about how you plan to use your remodeled garage space. Find a quality local pro to help make sure your project is achievable within your budget and timeline. A great pro will also help map out your new garage space to make sure you can still fit your cars inside when it's all done.
Once you have your pro, you need to talk about the plans. Will this be a full livable space or just more storage area? Depending on that, you'll want to talk about HVAC, electrical, and plumbing needs, which can make it comfortable year-round.
It's important to ask a lot of questions, even if you're just adding a storage system. Think about things like, how secure are the shelves and cabinets? Am I utilizing wall space? Do we need to raise the roof? Will the things I use most be easily accessible? Will my car still fit inside?
Safety is another key consideration when remodeling your garage. While windows look great and can add natural light, they do make it easier to break in. You may want to consider a security system or at least motion detecting lights on the outside. And of course, don't forget doors or keypads on each of the entrances.
Garage doors have electronic sensors that cannot be blocked, and depending on how you'll use the space, it will have different ventilation requirements. These issues are best handled by an experienced pro who can make sure everything is installed right the first time.
When investing in any major renovation project, it's always important to think about how it will impact resale value. Try not to go too over the top with your garage renovation. And think about if you're adding a very unique feature, will it really add value or potentially take away?
Have questions about your home projects or home care business? Tweet your question using hashtag AskAngie. That's hashtag ASKANGI, and you may get some tips in an upcoming segment.
And thanks so much, Brad. And thanks so much, Angie. Well, we have a couple things happening this weekend, and one of them is Pahrump Valley Speedway. Pahrump Valley Speedway is holding their races once again. That will be Saturday night. The gates open at 6. The races start at 7. All classes are racing. You can find out more by going to PahrumpValleySpeedway.com or looking them up on Facebook, of course. And we also want to announce something that's super special, because you guys know that we have the neighborhood cleanup, and we do those cleanups every like 3 months, clean up our town and shopping carts and things like that. You can find out more, of course, by going on to the Neighborhood Cleanup's Facebook page. But this time, we're going to be doing something on the National Day of Service, which happens to be September 11th. So we have the Nye County Public Lands Department and, of course, the National Park Service helping us out. We also have a lot of our area churches helping out this time. So this is going to be a huge cleanup. It's all happening on September 11th. It's at 9 a.m. We're meeting at the Bob Roode Community Center right there on the corner of Basin Avenue and Highway 160 at 8 a.m. So we want you guys to come on down. Of course, you know, if you have a pickup truck, if you want to help out with some of those shopping carts, please come on down and join us. And you can always contact me through the Neighborhood Cleanup Facebook page. Once again, September 11th. And you can't forget what also is happening on September 11th, because you always remember what that is, and that is the First Responders Memorial. We always have that ceremony right there on the Calvada Eye. The Rotary proudly brings that to us, and of course we will be having that service once again on September 11th. Just join us down there at 8 a.m. right there on the Calvada Eye at the First Responders Reflection Area, and we'll bring you all of those. And don't forget, this weekend is Pahrump. We'll see you down there at the Saddle West and see who gets that crown. You have a great weekend. Stay safe out there. We'll see you back here on Monday. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. Good night.